Hey everyone, so I'll be giving a speech about how I found my passion 2 years ago. So this all started back when I was in 8th grade. I was still a middle schooler at the time with absolutely no plans or intentions on what I wanted to do with my life after high school. At the time I was really contemplating my life in general and just really starting to develop a sense of urgency knowing that I only had another 4 or 5 years of school left before I enter the real world and get my own career. And so that's why my dad introduced me to the concept of coding and programming. So at the time, coding was a pretty foreign thing to me. I didn't really know much about it and definitely didn't know how to code a single line at all. And so I spent a majority of my 2021 year really just grinding and trying to learn as much as I could about coding. And actually, let me rewind. So back in 2020, that's when I actually started learning how to code, but I kind of gave up halfway through because it got too hard for me. And so I gave up for a couple of months, but then I felt kind of guilty afterwards for not working harder towards my goals, so I decided to give coding another shot. And so with my renewed sense of ambition and motivation, I decided to learn how to code again, completely from scratch in 2021, aka during my 8th grade year. And that year I really prospered a lot and learned a lot of things about coding, just from searching up things online and just reading articles and books. And I felt great. I was being productive and just seemed like everything was going the way I wanted it, which was wonderful, really. And so over time, once I got better at coding, I decided to start my own YouTube channel, which is probably the channel that I've posted this video on right now if you're watching this video. And so on this channel, I simply just post coding tutorials showing people how to code in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, as well as React.js, which is a JavaScript library, through building fun, interactive projects. So I'm going to go right below my button and create a script tag, and then in here I just want to define a function, and then name this function. You can name it whatever you want, but I want to be specific and to keep things clear and easy to understand, so I'm going to call it fetchActivity. And most of the time it's fairly basic and easy to understand. I'll try to break down the project into each line of code line by line and explain how the logic of the overall project works to make sure that the audience is really understanding what they're watching. And so coding has also taught me a very important lesson. So as cliche as this may sound, as long as you put your mind to it, you can do anything and you will begin to notice progress. That's exactly what happened to me when I started learning how to code. At first, I didn't exactly have the most determined mindset, and so I gave up. And if I had picked up coding again, I wouldn't have that as my main hobby that I do today. And so just make sure that you always work hard and don't quit in the face of challenge, because you never know if you're able to overcome and conquer the obstacle in your way. And also, despite the fact that I do post YouTube videos, I don't technically consider myself a YouTuber just because that just sounds weird. I mean, hey everyone, I'm a YouTuber, but I mean, it just sounds weird. So yeah, I don't consider myself. And so yeah, that's all I have for my speech. I hope you enjoyed watching this speech, and I hope you have a great day.